Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to another Frag Out Friday. And the gear we're talking about today is the Hard Headed Veterans A.T.E helmet, a ballistic helmet. Before we get too far into it, I want to say thank you again to Rain City Tactical for sponsoring the channel. If you guys head over to raincitytactical.com and use code BFBN at checkout, you'll get a discount code. And if you're in Kent, Washington, or want to stop by their shop at Rain City Shooting Center, there's a fun range. Great staff, super helpful. They have a full gun shop, custom holsters, and they have classes over there as well. So let's dive into this helmet. So obviously what everyone talks about with Hard Headed Veterans is it's veteran owned. Can't say enough great things about that. And the price point at $699, at basically $700 before taxes. That's really the big thing that usually everyone hits on with the Hard Headed Veterans helmets is they're cheap. You know, you're not spending the $1,000+ on a Team Wendy or an Ops Core. You're still getting that ballistic certification, and they're comfortable. As far as the padding and interior goes, this padding system is probably one of my favorites. Honestly, this is one of the most comfortable initial padding systems I've ever used, and that's not even their micro lattice, which is supposed to be better. I haven't personally tried it. I've also heard some mixed reviews on that as well, but there's a lot of people that say it's really comfortable. But even their initial padding system is actually really comfortable, especially when you compare it to something older like in the LHWs, the old Marine Corps, these old, it's still like a memory foam or like a gel. You can get gel inserts, but these aren't. It's way more comfortable than this. Don't know that it's really close to the Team Wendy and Ops Core padding. So when it comes to the padding, like I said, it's great. It works. Haven't tried the micro lattice. You can try it. The harness itself, I do like that they have this this buckle that it's magnetic, so it's really easy to get into place. You can hear that click in. You can even see it click in, which is actually pretty cool. I do like that about it. The thing I don't like about this helmet, and why I'm really making this video, is you don't have your standard kind of like ratchet strap on the back, and so I have a bit smaller of a head, and so the lengths and distances on this system, it really doesn't. I can't get it to go small enough, and if I go down a size, it's also too small, and so I can't really adjust this far enough to where it really fits well on my head. And without the ratchet strap, especially if you start attaching anything to the front of this helmet, it is just really hard to, obviously you can counterweight, but it's just not tight enough to really keep everything stable on my head. Now, moving forward to the helmet, on the helmet, talking more about that. So this shroud, this is another reason why I'm making this video. HHV, Hard Headed Veterans, great customer support. I have had no issues with the customer support at all, but this is actually maybe the main reason I'm making this video, is because while the $700 price point before taxes and shipping is a lot better than the $1,000 to $1,200 you're going to spend at Team Wendy or Ops Core for a ballistic helmet, I had a ton of issues with their shroud tolerances. So just to show you, this is the third shroud that they've sent me to try to fix the issue I was having. So here's shroud number 2. That's the third one. Here's shroud number 1. So we'll start with number 1 here. So, and I wanted to test this with the two main mounting options for night vision, panos, whatever, right? So I have your standard Rhino mount, right? And so when I first got the helmet, I was like, oh, let's just slap this in there and run it and see what happens. So the issue I was having was the dovetail on this does not fit into this. The tolerances are too tight. There's no way to get this to go into there, right? And just to make sure that it wasn't the Rhino mount, I had another one. Okay, neither of those fit into that top section right there. So I was like, I hit up Hard Headed Veterans. I was like, hey, this is the issue I'm having. They asked me to make a short video, so I sent it to them. I was like, here's it. There's no amount of force that's going to make that go into there. So they were awesome. They sent me a whole other shroud. The second one, boom, right? And I tried the same thing. And still, the tolerances were actually worse it was tighter on the second one than it was even on the first one. And I even tried, a G24 Wilcox just to see if maybe it was like just the Rhino or something. Also, not fitting. That's the issue. So hit him up again. I was like, hey, this one is also out of whack. Can you try to send me another one? So I finally got a third one on there, which is the one we see on here right now. Now, you'll notice that there is a black piece of tape here, of Gorilla Tape, that's in here. Because what was happening was, while I was able to get this in, it was too loose and it was wiggling around. So now, now this goes in there, okay, and it sits nice and tight with that piece of tape in, and there's not a whole lot of jiggling around. But without that tape, there's like a noticeable amount of play, right? So I think for me, at the price point of $6.99 today, it's Black Friday. You can get it for $563.50, which is, to me, where the price point I think should be in general. I think $700 is a bit much, because let's just say I wanted to upgrade this to the point where it was like closer to a Team Wendy, right? If I wanted the ratchet strap on the back, the ratchet system from ObsCore or Wendy or Shellback, those are about $100, depending on where you go look. So that takes this immediately up to almost $800, right? And then if I upgrade the padding that they have, there's $900. Now I'm close to that Team Wendy. You know what I mean? And obviously this has a lot more on it, but the Team Wendy helmet, it already has that ratchet system. It comes with that ratchet system. And I've never had an issue. I don't have to add any tape. You know what I mean? I can take my Wilcox G24 and stick it right in, and it fits. It goes in. I'm not having issues with it, right? I'm not having to sit here and go back and forth. I'm spending that kind of money. The shroud tolerance should be fine in my own head, especially when it doesn't. To me, it's a pretty easy function. Here's my old LWH. This obviously it goes right in. It fits. Like everything goes right in. So I don't really see the issue, like how they're having that much of a tolerance issue in that area. And I think another thing I think is funny, or that I found, was I have these old bump helmets, and I'm going to show you two more. This is they're just old, honestly, like really cheap bump helmets that you would find for like airsoft. But even like the airsoft community, the cheap ones, you can pick these up for like, I think the Emerson ones are a little bit more expensive, like $70 for a bump helmet. Here's a metal shroud that they come with. Super tight tolerance, like that's insane, like perfect. Like there's no wiggle, no movement at all. And I've had this for going on 11 years, right? And then I have another one that is plastic. That's like a built-in shroud. Again, it's plastic, so there's a lot more things that could go wrong with this. And another perfect fit. Like, it's super tight. Like, it does not move at all. Like, to me, I think that it's one place that Hard Headed Veterans really needs to step up their game. I think that if you're going to be spending, even if it's their on sale price at $563.50 for Black Friday, I think that you should be able to take your Rhino mount or your Wilcox mount or whatever mount you have. It should go in here and fit immediately. You shouldn't have to put some tape in here. You shouldn't have to, or just get one or two that doesn't work at all. You shouldn't have to be taking these off and on multiple times to find, just to get something that works. To me, at this point, I think that just spending the money on an OpsCore, spending the money on a Team Wendy is just kind of the whole, buy once, cry once deal. I don't think that getting a helmet right now from Hard Headed Veterans until they can fix that problem is something I would recommend. I would say just save your money a little bit more because you're already there. At $700, you can go on multiple different websites and find the Team Wendy's, like the Xfil 2s, like this one, for like $1,100. Yeah, you're spending a little bit more, but you're already getting more out of the helmet. It's lighter. the harness is with having that ratchet system is way better, especially if you're going to be using night vision. It keeps the helmet way tighter to your head. Just my thoughts on it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, stay loose, battle on, and if you have bitch in your heart, it will show.